Archangel Michael says, "Today I command you to open this now, because this is deeply connected to your money, and the one who's been blocking your financial breakthrough has finally been exposed and cannot hide any longer." Heaven has waited patiently for you to hear this. You've been under attack in silence, feeling the pressure build around you, and still, you carried on with grace. You tried not to complain, even when it felt like the entire world had forgotten your name. But in the quietness of your heart, you've whispered prayers that were soaked in tears. And every single one of those cries reached the throne of the Almighty God. Your name echoed in heaven long before today, and I, Michael, bring this message not as a suggestion, but as a divine command from the one who reigns over all. Type 999 if you trust Jesus. There has been a barrier. Not just a delay. Not just bad luck. A real spiritual obstruction. Someone has been standing in the shadows, whispering lies over your destiny, casting confusion into your path, and placing heaviness on your shoulders whenever you started to rise. This person has smiled at you. They've acted supportive. But in the unseen, their hands were busy tying knots around your financial doors, hoping you would give up before you ever opened them. Their intentions were never pure. They envied what you carried inside, the favor of God, and they did all they could to stop what was meant for you from ever reaching your hands. Like this video and subscribe to this channel if God has given you strength. But that time is over now. You have suffered long enough. You have been overlooked enough. You have cried over missed opportunities, sudden losses, and unexpected setbacks that made no sense. You thought it was coincidence, or maybe punishment, or maybe that your prayers weren't strong enough, but it wasn't any of that. It was sabotage. A scheme that was quietly operating while you were simply trying to survive. But I have been watching. I have been standing between you and total collapse, defending you even when you had no idea how close the enemy came. And now, I am standing in full authority to expose everything. The name of the one who has tried to delay your blessings is known to heaven. God is not just going to restore what was taken from you, He's going to multiply it. The seasons you spent in lack are going to be swallowed up by a season of divine provision that cannot be stopped. The one who plotted against your finances, who spoke curses behind closed doors, is going to be removed from your atmosphere. Their influence will dry up. Their schemes will turn on them. They will be forced to watch as the blessings of God flood your life openly, leaving no doubt that you are chosen, protected, and highly favored. What if 7 minutes of sound could end years of financial struggle and replace it with freedom, prosperity, and peace? This ancient frequency, once locked away in secret government research, is now changing lives everywhere. Imagine bills erased, doors opening, and sudden windfalls flowing into your hands. But every delay is wealth lost forever. Click the link in the video description and comments below to switch on your money wave, and claim abundance today. You've held on this long not by accident, but because your soul refused to break under pressure. And that strength, your unshakable, steady, aching faith, is what has moved heaven to act today. I was sent because you are ready. This is not just about money. This is about honor. You are about to be honored by God in the presence of those who thought you would never rise again. Your debts will be wiped away. What was stolen will be returned with interest. And what was delayed will now be delivered faster than expected. Type 2121 if you trust God's plan for your life. Even now, the winds are shifting. The atmosphere around you is becoming lighter. The heaviness you felt when waking up in the morning is beginning to lift. This is not imagination, it is divine movement. Your name has been spoken in a heavenly meeting, and I was commanded to be your messenger, your guardian, and your protector in this next chapter. This isn't just a breakthrough, it's an entire financial resurrection. Dead dreams are coming alive. Forgotten ideas will receive new breath. Everything the enemy tried to kill is about to bloom in front of your eyes. Do not scroll past this moment. Do not let this message fall aside like all the others. This is not just another word, it is the word that comes when God has finished being patient with the injustice you've endured. When God moves like this, nothing in hell can stop it. No witchcraft. No betrayal. No spoken curse. No system. No human. The command has already been given in heaven, and I am executing it now on earth. Heaven is not only watching, it is intervening. You were never meant to carry the weight of constant financial struggle, where every small gain came with a price, and every opportunity seemed to slip through your fingers the moment hope entered your heart. This wasn't the life God designed for you. You were chosen for overflow, for peace in your provisions, and to walk in the freedom of not having to beg for what is already yours. The enemy tried to convince you that this was your fate, but God has never called you to survive in lack. You were born to thrive in divine abundance. What you felt, those endless cycles of just barely making it, of gaining something only to lose something else, were signs. Signals that something deeper was at play. Someone was working in opposition, not with weapons you could see, but with words, intentions, and secret bitterness toward the blessings you were destined to receive. They watched your light and tried to dim it before it could shine bright enough to expose their own darkness. But it is too late for them now. God has allowed this exposure not just to vindicate you, but to position you. No more delays. No more confusion. No more wondering why your prayers didn't seem to move mountains while others walked freely in what you desperately needed. The spiritual blocks have been broken. The floodgates that held back your blessings are cracking open, and what comes next will make up for all the nights you cried yourself to sleep wondering when your moment would arrive. You may feel tired, but this next season will not require the kind of strength you've had to use in the past. You will not have to strive for what God is giving freely. He is not just going to provide, He is going to reward. For every sacrifice. For every time you gave when you had little. For every moment you helped someone else succeed while you quietly struggled in the background. This is your reward season. Heaven has cleared the path. And I, Michael, will walk it with you. Type 2222 to open the door to new blessings. The people who doubted you will be stunned. The same mouths that whispered behind your back will be silent when they see how God elevates you. You won't need to explain yourself. You won't need to defend your past. God will do all the speaking through the breakthroughs you're about to receive. From this moment forward, nothing is going to stay stuck. Your financial situation is shifting dramatically, and it's not based on luck, chance, or hard work alone, it's because you are divinely favored. And I must tell you this truth gently, but clearly, those who tried to block your money will now be forced to watch you walk in wealth. Their intentions have already begun to backfire. Their schemes are crumbling. Their fake smiles will no longer be able to hide what they truly feel when they see how powerfully you rise. God is using your story as a testimony. Not just for you, but for everyone who thought he was done using people like you. You are about to become a witness of God's miracle-working power in your own life. This restoration isn't only about cash in your account, it's about the respect you lost, the confidence that was shaken, and the value that was once stolen from your name. God is putting you back together, stronger than ever. You will no longer feel like you're behind, like you're too late, or like you've missed your moment. That is a lie from the enemy, and I have come to remove it from your heart. You are not behind schedule, you are being launched right on time. And listen carefully, this message didn't find you by mistake. It was heaven ordered. I have been instructed to deliver it not just as a word of comfort, but as a final declaration before the flood of blessings begins. You are standing on holy ground, in a moment where the spiritual and physical are meeting, and things are about to change rapidly. You may not understand how or when it all will come together, but that's not your job. Your only task is to believe and stay in position. I will handle the rest. Your accounts are about to breathe. Your wallet is about to be refreshed. Your ability to say yes without fear is about to return. And with every blessing that comes, you will feel lighter, not because of the money itself, but because the chains that kept it from reaching you have finally been broken. You were never meant to carry the spirit of lack as if it was part of your destiny. The scarcity you've endured was not your portion, it was planted in your path by the envious and the deceptive, by someone who quietly worked behind the curtain to drain your blessings before they could ever reach your hands. But the divine order has now shifted, and I have been commanded to tell you that their grip has been permanently released. Type 1111 if you agree. God is not just giving you financial breakthrough, He is giving you freedom from all that has haunted your peace. For too long, you have walked with burdens that were never yours to bear, trying to hold your head high even as your soul cried for relief. You've been faithful in storms, generous even when you had little, and still, it seemed like every open door shut the moment you reached it. That wasn't your fault. That was spiritual interference. And that interference has now been overthrown by the one who sits on the highest throne. The truth is simple, you were created for abundance, yet a dormant brain signal has been holding you back. Scientists call it the money-attracting frequency, and once awakened, it pulls wealth into your life like never before. Others who pressed play once are already transformed, living the life they dreamed of. Do not hesitate or let regret steal this chance. Click the link in the video description and comments below to unlock your prosperity now. This moment is not small. This isn't just another turn in your journey. This is a holy turning point. Everything that has resisted you is collapsing. Not by force of man, but by the power of the living God who has declared this your moment of divine reversal. The curse has been shattered. The delay has been removed. The fog that made you doubt yourself, made you question your decisions, made you afraid to trust again, it's lifting right now, even as you read this. Your wealth is no longer trapped behind enemy lines. The name of the person who caused so much hidden harm is already being dealt with. You don't need to retaliate. You don't need to confront. Heaven has already done what you could not. And what you may not fully see yet is how God has been setting the stage for something far greater than what you even prayed for. He didn't just prepare a breakthrough, He prepared a blessing that will last. One that will restore everything they tried to destroy. I want you to understand this deeply. The pain you felt wasn't wasted. The waiting you endured wasn't in vain. The losses weren't permanent. In fact, they were necessary for what's coming next. Because now you're being lifted into a level of provision that no one can take credit for, not even you. This isn't happening because of chance or favor from people. It's happening because of God's decision to exalt you in front of those who doubted your strength and mocked your pain. There are people who thought you were finished. They believed you wouldn't recover. They laughed when you fell behind. They whispered when you lost everything. And still, they watched you smile. They watched you pray. They watched you love. What they never realized is that heaven was watching them too, and now, heaven is responding. You are about to be called into rooms you didn't even know existed. Your name is about to be spoken by people who are being divinely assigned to bless you, sponsor you, and open doors on your behalf. Not because you begged, not because you forced anything, but because God has placed His hand over your life, and no one can argue with His decision. And the money that was once blocked? It's not just being released, it's being redirected with overflow. Money that was stolen in secret will now come back with witnesses. Opportunities that were once rerouted will now hunt you down. The blessings that were paused are being poured out in double measure, and they will find you with divine accuracy. Type Amen if you believe. You don't need to hustle for it. You don't need to chase it. You only need to believe, to be still, and to trust that everything is already unfolding in your favor. I am not just speaking hope, I am announcing the activation of a divine transaction that has been approved in the courts of heaven. It's not in process, it's already done. You were seen when you were at your lowest. You were heard when you said nothing at all. God was with you when no one else understood what you were carrying. And now, all of heaven is moving for you because you refused to give up, even when it felt like nothing was working. For so long, you have been holding yourself together with quiet strength. People around you never truly understood the depth of the battles you were facing. You smiled while you were worried. You gave even when you had barely enough. You encouraged others even when your own spirit was exhausted. And while the world may have ignored your hidden tears, heaven never did. I watched you fall asleep with prayers still on your lips. I heard the silent conversations between you and God when you wondered how much longer you'd have to hold on. Every one of those moments was seen, counted, and carried up into heaven's chambers. And now, all of that pain has a purpose. The one who tried to delay your blessings thought they could bury your destiny beneath manipulation and deceit. But what they failed to understand is that no darkness can hold down what God has chosen to lift. Their words, their actions, their intentions, every bit of it has been exposed before the righteous eyes of the Almighty, and now, they will reap what they sowed. But you, child of God, will reap peace, provision, and overflow. Type Amen if your soul rests in God, and share this video with 7 people of faith to welcome blessings and miracles into your journey. The financial breakthrough that has been blocked for far too long is no longer out of reach. It is not being negotiated. It is not being debated. It is being delivered. The same way your heart has waited for joy without sorrow, for blessings without burden, for provision without pressure, those cries have reached heaven, and the response has come wrapped in power, grace, and justice. Your hands will not remain empty. The season of scraping, sacrificing, and surviving is ending. I was sent to walk beside you into this next chapter, where what was lost will be returned with increase, and what was stolen will be replaced with something far greater. You've already paid a price, now it's time to receive the promise. God has appointed this season to show others what it looks like when He steps in after everyone else walks away. You are not forgotten. You are not behind. You are not cursed. You are chosen, and that truth is about to be proven openly. The shame you carried, the embarrassment over what you couldn't provide, the humiliation of having to pretend things were fine, none of that was ever your fault, and heaven is washing all of it away now. You have cried over bills that seemed impossible to pay. You've lost sleep over deadlines, over loans, over fears that you were falling too far behind to ever recover. But that storm is breaking. That heaviness is lifting. There is a spiritual shaking happening around you even now, and it's because everything connected to your finances is being realigned under divine authority. You will no longer chase what's already been written in your destiny. It's coming to you. Swiftly. Peacefully. Supernaturally. Type 1818 to claim miracles. And here's what you must understand. This blessing is not random. It's not temporary. It's not partial. It's full. It's complete. And it will cover every area of your life that was previously marked by lack. This money is not just to meet your needs, it is to restore your confidence, rebuild your vision, and release you into the calling you've had to delay for far too long. You are not being given leftovers. You are being given the full portion of what was always meant for you. The name of the one who blocked you is known in heaven. Their power is gone. Their control is over. Their influence is fading, and their plans are falling apart. But this message isn't about them anymore. This is about you. About your journey. Your growth. Your unshakable faith, even when everything looked like it was falling apart. God saw your loyalty. He saw your quiet worship. He saw your heart stay soft even when you were under pressure. And now, that heart is about to be filled with joy you haven't felt in years. Your enemies will not be able to understand how it all turned in your favor so quickly. But you will know. You will feel it in your spirit, in your sleep, in the silence of your thoughts. Peace is returning. Provision is coming. Doors are opening. Help is arriving. And nothing can stop it. The one who cursed your progress with their hidden jealousy never expected heaven to intervene so openly, but that is what is happening now. Your story is being rewritten. The ending they planned for you, the one filled with shame, lack, and constant defeat, is being erased by the hand of God, and in its place, a new story is unfolding. A story of breakthrough. A story of redemption. A story of sudden blessings and undeniable favor. You don't need to convince anyone of what's coming. You don't need to explain why things are shifting. Your only task is to stay ready. Because the same hands that once carried burden after burden are about to carry blessings beyond measure. And this time, you won't have to fight to keep what's yours. God is building a wall of protection around your blessings, around your peace, around your future. You have already passed through the fire. This next season is about restoration and reward. I have been assigned to walk beside you not just as a messenger, but as a warrior. Every force that tried to delay your progress will now face divine judgment. Every curse sent toward your finances is now returned to its sender. Every trap laid out for you is now being reversed. And while others may not understand how or why everything is falling into place for you, you will know that it is because you chose to remain faithful when you had every reason to quit. This financial release is more than just provision, it is confirmation that your obedience was not wasted. Every act of generosity, every quiet prayer, every decision to trust God instead of panicking, all of it was seen. And now, the reward is being released in ways you couldn't have imagined. You are not just going to make it, you are going to rise into a new level of financial ease, where anxiety no longer rules your thoughts and worry no longer wakes you up at night. Every second you wait, wealth meant for you slips into someone else's hands. A hidden brain wave, once buried in CIA files, has been proven to awaken unstoppable prosperity. In just 7 minutes, you can unlock the switch inside your mind that draws abundance like a magnet. This is more than an opportunity, it is destiny knocking. Click the link in the video description and comments below to activate your hidden wealth wave right now. Type 999 if you trust Jesus. You are not the same person who once feared not having enough. You are stronger now, wiser now, more rooted in faith. That's why this blessing won't be temporary. It won't fade. Because you now know what it means to walk through lack and still remain kind. You now know what it means to be surrounded by false friends and still keep a pure heart. And heaven always rewards hearts like yours. The people who secretly celebrated your losses will have to watch God honor you publicly. And you won't even have to speak a word, your life will speak for you. The overflow coming into your hands is not for show. It is sacred. It is holy. And it will be used not just to meet your needs but to uplift others who are still walking through the very storm you just survived. You are not just being blessed for yourself, you are being positioned to bless others. And that, beloved, is why the enemy fought you so hard. They knew that once you were free, you would help others break free. And now that you are rising, nothing will hold you back again. The heaviness in your chest, the weight you've carried for years, it's already lifting. God is replacing your stress with strength, your fear with clarity, and your doubt with overflowing peace. The kind of peace that money alone can't give. The kind that comes only when you know, without a shadow of a doubt, that God is fighting for you. There are divine deposits being released into your life. Sudden favor. Unexpected phone calls. Opportunities you never applied for. Payments you forgot about. Debts erased. Contracts released. Business ideas resurrected. Family members moved to support you in ways they never have before. And all of this is happening because the one who blocked your flow has been removed by the one who controls the heavens and the earth. This message reaches you not to remind you of your pain, but to confirm that the pain was never in vain. Every tear you cried in secret carried weight in the spirit. Every sigh when you looked at unpaid bills and unanswered prayers was louder in heaven than you ever realized. The silence you felt wasn't absence, it was the sound of angels preparing your breakthrough in the background. And now, that silence is breaking open into a symphony of miracles that are on their way to you. Your financial elevation will be sudden, not gradual, because God is not operating according to the world's pace. What takes years for others will take moments for you. The delay was never because you weren't worthy. It was because the timing had to be perfect. And now, it is. This is the moment where heaven says, release it all. This isn't about you needing to qualify, beg, or prove yourself anymore. You've already passed every test. You've already held on to hope when it made no sense to do so. You've walked through fire, and still chose to speak kindness. You've been rejected, forgotten, and overlooked, and still, you stayed soft-hearted. That is the kind of spirit heaven trusts. That is the kind of person God rewards without hesitation. You didn't break. Even when they turned on you. Even when your bank account screamed lack. Even when your heart whispered, just give up. You didn't. Type 2323 if you trust in God. You held on. You kept praying. You kept loving. You kept believing. And that is why I've been sent now, not just to deliver a message, but to enforce what has already been declared, that your time of lack is over, and your season of divine provision has begun. The person who blocked your flow thought they could remain hidden. But nothing is hidden from God. Every word they spoke in secret. Every action they took behind your back. Every manipulation, every curse, every delay, they were seen. And now, heaven has decided, enough is enough. They will no longer have access to your energy, your space, your mind, or your blessings. You are being cleansed from the inside out. This is not just a change in your bank balance, it's a change in your spiritual atmosphere. You are going to notice things start to feel lighter. Conversations that once drained you will no longer even find you. Rooms that once tolerated you will now begin to celebrate you. Ideas that once seemed too big will now begin to unfold with ease. You are stepping into a flow where things happen for you, not to you. Because God is not just blessing your finances, He is blessing your entire life. Your hands will touch what your heart has only dreamed of. And not just once, but again and again. This isn't a one-time miracle. It is the opening of a divine flow. A cycle of favor. A rhythm of peace. A river that won't dry up. You will not be afraid of tomorrow anymore, because you will wake up with the peace of knowing you are not walking alone. You are walking under divine protection, surrounded by angelic guidance, and covered by the promise of a faithful God. And as these blessings come, don't let fear speak louder than faith. Don't let your past define how you receive your present. Don't shrink back. You were born for this. Born to rise. Born to carry what others tried to steal from you. Born to walk boldly into a life that reflects God's goodness, not just in words, but in provision, in peace, in joy, and in every area where you were once empty. You will no longer apologize for being blessed. You will no longer feel guilty for rising. You will no longer explain why your life is finally shifting. Those who doubted you will either bow to the truth or disappear quietly. But either way, you will not be stopped. Because the one who once blocked you has been silenced, and the one who reigns over all has spoken a final word over your life. Now is the time. This moment you are walking into was designed before you were even born. Long before the battles, long before the betrayal, long before the sabotage, you were already marked for victory. The hands that tried to choke your destiny are now powerless, because they were never stronger than the plans of the Lord. And now that justice has been executed in the Spirit, blessings are being released into your atmosphere with urgency, speed, and fullness. The struggles you faced were never your fault. A hidden brain frequency, once buried in secret research, has been silently holding back your wealth. Now, for the first time, it is available to you, and it only takes minutes to activate. Imagine the chains of debt breaking, the doors of opportunity opening, and your life flooding with prosperity. This chance may never return. Click the link in the video description and comments below to claim it now. Type 555 to receive miracles. You will now begin to notice how quickly everything changes. Where you once had to wait months just to see a small return, now things will accelerate. Where you once had to explain your vision over and over and still be dismissed, now people will come to you with solutions already in hand. Where you once kept quiet to avoid being judged or misunderstood, now your voice will carry weight and your ideas will open doors. This is not imagination. This is divine fulfillment. And I need you to hear this clearly: what is coming to you now is coming because it belongs to you. Not because of pity. Not because of luck. But because you are in right standing with God, and He is repaying every ounce of loss with something you could never have earned on your own. This is a supernatural repayment. A holy reimbursement. A divine compensation for the seasons where you gave your all and still ended up empty. The one who tried to drain you of your worth, your energy, your finances, your faith, they have been cut off. Spiritually. Emotionally. Energetically. You may still see their face. You may still remember their voice. But they no longer have any power over what happens next in your life. God has blocked their influence. He has removed their reach. Their words are dust now. Their actions, powerless. Their plans, shattered. And in their place, heaven has planted new roots in your life, roots of stability, favor, and unstoppable increase. From this moment forward, every area of your life that was once unstable will begin to show signs of strength. You won't have to fear losing everything again, because this time, God is building on rock, not sand. This time, what grows in your life will have foundation, structure, and divine backing. This time, the money that comes will not slip away. It will not be drained. It will not disappear. It will remain. It will stretch. It will multiply. You are being transitioned out of a mindset of desperation into a life of deep trust. God is teaching you that His blessings don't require striving, they require surrender. And you have already done the hardest part. You stayed faithful when the enemy thought you would curse God and walk away. You continued to show up, to believe, to pray, to worship, to give, even when you had nothing left. And that kind of faith moves heaven. There are financial miracles on the way to you that you didn't even ask for, because God is not just answering your prayers, He's exceeding them. Money will begin to flow from unexpected places. Financial help will come from people you've never met. Business opportunities will present themselves without effort. Your work will be noticed. Your creativity will open streams of income. Your voice will carry favor, and your presence will attract opportunity. This is a holy movement. It is not to be questioned. It is not to be doubted. It is to be received. Type yes to affirm. You don't need to figure out how it will all happen. You don't need to stress over when. Your only task is to stay in position, to remain in surrender, and to open your heart wide. Because what God is about to place in your hands is more than you thought you could carry, and you will not drop it this time. You will not lose it this time. You will not sabotage it this time. You will hold it with peace and wisdom. You no longer need to fear when the next attack is coming, because the one who was assigned to torment your finances has been defeated. Their words will not stick. Their plans will not succeed. Their energy has been rejected by heaven. They will not be allowed to stand near the gate of your blessings ever again. What was once a cycle of lack is now a circle of protection. God has drawn a line around you, and nothing unclean will be able to pass through it. What's coming next is divine financial healing. And this healing is not just about numbers or wealth, it's about restoring what money was never able to fix before, the inner scars left by stress, survival, and silent suffering. You have had to pretend for far too long that everything was okay while secretly breaking inside. You kept smiling while the weight of unpaid bills, broken promises, and financial fear sat heavy on your chest. But no more pretending is needed now. God is stepping into your real story, not the version you tried to show others. Heaven is honoring your truth. God is rewarding your endurance. And I, Michael, am guarding your rise. You may feel a strange stillness lately, like something in your world is becoming quiet, like something has been lifted. That's not your imagination. That's the removal of the spiritual noise that was blocking clarity. The confusion, the chaos, the constant pressure, gone. And in its place, you will begin to notice ideas returning to you. Hope entering your thoughts again. Clarity in decisions. Energy to move forward. These are not just changes in your mood, they are signs of divine movement. The flow has been reconnected. The wires that once felt cut are now mended. The windows of heaven are open above you, and this time, they will remain open. There will be no more short bursts of blessing followed by long seasons of drought. That pattern is broken. You are stepping into a rhythm where provision is consistent, where breakthrough is normal, and where open doors are no longer the exception, they are the new expectation. You won't have to beg anymore. You won't have to explain why you can't afford something. You won't have to carry the shame of asking for help while pretending you're fine. God is erasing the traces of financial embarrassment, and replacing it with quiet confidence. This confidence won't come from your income, it will come from knowing that heaven has decided to take care of you, openly and consistently. What if you could unlock a secret brain wave that top scientists discovered inside the hippocampus, the very switch that signals wealth and abundance? Hidden from the public for decades, this breakthrough can rewire your mind to attract prosperity faster than you imagined. Picture the stress of bills replaced with financial freedom and new opportunities. Every delay is a missed blessing, and those who act now are already walking into the wealth you deserve. Step forward before the door closes. Click the link in the video description and comments below to activate this ancient money wave and step into abundance today. Type 777 if you walk by faith. And you must know this, there is a reason this message found you today. This was written into the timeline of your life long before you knew what you were going to face. I was commanded to speak this word to your heart, not just for comfort, but for activation. Your spirit has already begun to shift. Your heart already knows this is not just another emotional word. This is real. This is spiritual. This is now. God is not giving you just enough to survive. He is giving you more than enough so you can finally rest, finally breathe, finally build, finally bless others from a place of strength, not struggle. This is what you've prayed for, answers that don't come with confusion, provision that doesn't disappear, opportunities that don't require compromise. That's what is being released. You are not being overlooked anymore. You are not standing in the back anymore. You are not forgotten anymore. Heaven has moved you to the front. Not for praise. Not for attention. But because you have proven through your private battles that you are ready to carry public blessings with humility and wisdom. And you will. You will carry wealth with grace. You will walk in overflow without fear. You will speak with boldness, knowing that you didn't earn this through manipulation or striving, it was given, because you are loved, chosen, and protected. This isn't a small shift. This is a divine reversal. Everything that once drained you is being replaced with peace that will surprise you. Everything that once took years to repair will now be restored in moments. Everything that once made you question your worth is about to be overpowered by the outpouring of favor God is sending your way. Not just to restore your finances, but to restore your story. Because it's not just about the money. It's about the proof. The proof that your prayers weren't in vain. That God never forgot you. That heaven has always had the final say. You will feel the difference, not just in your bank account, but in your heart. Because now, when you speak, the spirit of fear that used to hover over your thoughts will be gone. When you plan, you will no longer doubt whether or not it will fall apart. When you give, you will no longer feel that panic that once whispered, "What if I don't have enough later?" That voice is no longer yours to carry. That fear is not your future. That anxiety is not your inheritance. Peace is. You have made it through a level of warfare that most people could not survive. And you did it quietly, humbly, and without becoming bitter. You kept your hands clean. You kept your heart soft. You kept moving forward even when you had to crawl. And because of that endurance and quiet obedience, God has now made a divine announcement in the heavens: release the blessings without delay. Type 333 to welcome blessings. Your name is being mentioned in places that were once closed off to you. Your prayers are turning into divine appointments. Your broken plans are being reassembled with better pieces than you ever imagined. Every "no" that made you feel rejected was actually a redirection. Every "not yet" that made you feel forgotten was actually a setup. Now those delays will begin to make sense, because what is coming is far greater than what was denied. And you will not have to fight for a seat at the table anymore. God is building you a new table entirely. One where you are honored, not tolerated. One where your voice is heard, not silenced. One where your worth is recognized, not hidden. This is the part of your story where the struggle begins to lose its power over your mind. You will begin to dream again, not as a way to escape pain, but as a way to step into new possibilities. Your decisions will be made from peace, not panic. Your giving will come from overflow, not fear. Your energy will be refreshed because the heaviness of always wondering, "How will I make it through?" is finally over. You are going to see money come from places that once rejected you. You are going to get calls that shift your life in a single moment. You are going to walk into rooms you didn't even know existed. And it won't be because of who you know, it will be because of whose you are. You belong to God. And now, everything that has been fighting you will have no choice but to back down. The forces that blocked your rise are being stripped of their access. They will watch what happens next, but they will not be able to touch it. They will hear about your name, but they won't be allowed to speak it in circles of influence. They will try to understand your success, but they won't be able to trace it, because what's coming is from heaven, not from hustle. You are no longer in the wilderness. You are walking out, covered in favor, surrounded by angels, and carrying the kind of peace that cannot be faked. It is real. It is rooted. And it is yours. You don't need to prove anything to anyone anymore. The results will speak for themselves. God is about to show up through you. And when He does, people will know it wasn't chance. It wasn't luck. It wasn't connections. It was divine. You've been surviving for so long that the idea of ease feels foreign, but what's coming is not hard. It won't feel forced. It won't feel like a hustle. It won't feel like something you need to perform to maintain. What's coming will be grace-filled provision. God is not giving you another heavy assignment, He's giving you rest. He's giving you stability. He's giving you a fresh chance to rebuild your life with joy and without pressure. And I need you to take this part seriously. The person who delayed your finances, who spoke harm over your money, who secretly wished you would fail, they are being handled by the courts of heaven. They will not touch your blessings again. They won't even be allowed to watch closely. Their access is denied. Their power has crumbled. Their envy has no reach. The things they tried to destroy are now flourishing. The resources they tried to block are now multiplying. What if a simple 7-minute sound frequency could awaken a forgotten brain signal designed to pull wealth toward you like a magnet? Backed by shocking CIA files and neuroscience, this discovery is now changing lives everywhere. Think of debts melting away, promotions arriving, and abundance flowing freely. This is the one moment that can rewrite your future, but only if you claim it now, because hesitation will only keep you chained to the same struggles. Click the link in video description and comments below to experience the hidden wealth wave and let your financial destiny shift in your favor today. Type 1212 if you believe God is guiding you. You will feel the release not just financially, but spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. You will begin to wake up lighter. You'll find yourself smiling at random moments without even knowing why. You'll start to see signs that things are aligning in your favor. That is because the spirit of restriction has been removed. The spiritual gates that once kept you boxed in have been kicked open. And now, blessings are flowing freely, steadily, and fully into your life. You are not entering into a season of just enough. You are being ushered into a life of overflow. Overflow that will pay off old debts. Overflow that will open new doors. Overflow that will heal what was once broken inside of you. The years that felt wasted will be redeemed in one moment of divine favor. And you are now stepping into those moments, one after another, because heaven is no longer delaying what belongs to you. People will not recognize you, not because you've changed who you are, but because God has finally lifted the layers of struggle that tried to cover the light inside you. They will look at you and see joy where they once saw fatigue. They will hear your voice and notice clarity instead of uncertainty. And they will wonder how it all happened so suddenly. But you will know. You will remember the prayers, the tears, the battles. And you will stand tall, knowing it was God all along. This money that's coming is not just for your needs, it is for your peace. It is for your rebuilding. It is for your restoration. There are things you laid down long ago, dreams you forgot about because life was too heavy to carry them. But those dreams are coming back now. You will start to remember the parts of yourself that went quiet. You will start to feel alive again. This is not about riches that fade, this is about God breathing life into everything that once felt dead.